We were treated to part 2 of the Jesse Waters Fox News interview with Donald Trump and his new regretful running mate, JD Vance, also known to many as JP Mandel.
We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel.
JD Mandel, JP Mandel. Who the hell knows his name? He's a Trump doormat, and that's what Trump likes. Although reports are of growing discontent within MAGA world of the selection of JD Vance. We'll get to that later. Here is a part of this really weird interview with Jesse Waters where Trump starts fantasizing about throwing mothers with beautiful children into these mass detention camps, which is outlined in Project 2025. And if you look at JD Vance, he seems physically uncomfortable by this line from Trump. Now, I'm not even going to tell you that JD Vance is necessarily opposed to this. JD Vance may be fine with this, but this is me projecting my analysis. What JD Vance is recognizing in this clip is that the way Trump is talking about this is very much not helpful, given everything we've seen happen with Roe v. Wade, women's rights, bodily autonomy. This is the last thing that Republicans need in order to win. Maybe JD Vance likes it personally. And you can tell he's almost physically in pain as Trump says this stuff.
And as soon as we grab, perhaps we take a woman with 2 children, 3 children. She shouldn't be here, but she's a nice woman. The children are beautiful. And all of a sudden it ends up being a front page story of the liberal newspapers. And you're right. It's a hard thing to do. Harder than a long time ago with Dwight Eisenhower, right? A lot harder. Nobody complained. In those days, it was, we had a country that was much different.
Ay, ay, ay. So JD Vance, I mean, just look at the expression on his face. A sort kind of a what the hell am I doing situation. We are going to have to clean this up. And again, it's not that JD necessarily disagrees. I think he probably likes a bunch of this stuff. But he's recognizing that the way Trump is talking about it is not going to serve their cause well in this environment. And it's probably not going to serve their cause particularly well running against Kamala Harris either. Now, let's look at one more clip. I actually am unsure whether I have the right clip here. Let's explore it together. This may be overlapping with the clip we just played.
You're right. It's a hard thing to do. Harder than a long time ago with Dwight Eisenhower, right? A lot harder. Nobody complained. In those days, it was, we had a country that was much different.
So it mostly is overlap, but Trump, of course, referring to the military-style Operation Wetback, and a vile element in American history. Trump says, hey, listen, nobody complained, but now because of the liberal media, people are probably going to complain when we throw mothers with beautiful children into detention camps. And JD Vance is like, oh boy, this is not seeming very good. They will have to contend with this as a campaign issue for sure. Trump on the environment talking about, well, I won't even introduce it because I don't understand it, but he doesn't like wind power. That remains the case.
You know this. Do you know we need twice as much electricity as we currently have in our country for AI? But the environmentalists won't let you produce it. They want wind. The wind is blowing today. The whole thing, it's the most expensive hoax in the world. The wind, it kills our birds.
And of course, there is JD Vance's new uncomfortable forced laughter. We've kind of been wondering what is going to be the MO for JD when he has to sit next to Trump and listen to Trump say these absurd things. And we've very quickly learned from part 1 and part 2 of this Jesse Waters interview that what JD Vance is going to do is just kind of force a chuckle that is both completely insincere and more a sign of nervousness than it is of comedy. So I hope that they can continue doing these interviews together. There's a couple things that are going on when JD Vance does the solo interview. And by the way, JD Vance's favorability is completely in the toilet. We'll talk about that in a moment. When Vance does the side-by-side interview with Trump, which we've been treated to here over the last couple of days, the problem is he's visibly uncomfortable by the idiotic things that Trump says. And so he has to kind of do these forced laughs, and it doesn't come off very well. On the other hand, when JD Vance does interviews by himself, or he's appeared at rallies by himself already, he so totally lacks charisma and any even iota of genuineness that seems to hurt him as well. So quite frankly, I don't know what the solution is to the JD Vance problem. I don't care what it is. I hope they don't find one. This is their mistake, and now they're going to have to live with it to the extent that it's completely backfiring. Let's now get to the evidence that the JD Vance selection is indeed backfiring. We all know someone who's been the victim of identity theft or accidentally downloading a virus, and it costs time, money, maybe your personal files. And what I've used for years to keep my devices safe from malware is Malwarebytes. I've been using this for years and years before they ever became a sponsor. And it's because Malwarebytes is just the standard. It gets great scores from the independent cybersecurity labs. It's almost always the top choice from consumer tech publications. CNET, for example, just declared Malwarebytes the best malware removal service of 2024. Malwarebytes' expertise and dedication to cybersecurity excellence just sets them apart from the other antivirus companies. They catch all kinds of threats that antiviruses often don't. You get comprehensive real-time protection against a huge variety of online threats, and it will detect and remove existing malware already on your devices as well. And now you can get the Identity Theft Protection Bundle to protect your entire family's personal information with live monitoring, alerts, recovery assistance, and up to $1 million in identity theft insurance. Malwarebytes has a special deal only for the David Pakman Show. You can get any Malwarebytes subscription for 50% off. That's half off at malwarebytes.com/Pakman. The link is down below.